Yes.
Can't tell me nothing. You know when somebody write a song so good you feel like you wrote it.
Wow, you go that deep.
That was that deep. You can't tell me nothing. Play that again, OQ. You hear my bars. The bars are so relatable. You start claiming the bars for yourself.
Okay.
That's mine.
That's your.
That's mine.
Nah, hold up. You hear my bars. Play it again.
This one's for love, for mothers that's grieving. It's for that dreamer in that class that's underachieving. This for believers whose faith is all that's keeping them breathing. This the Garden of Eden. This for all of my heathens. This one's for Inglewood, both in Chicago and Cali. This one's for Manchester and Crenshaw, for rallies. Happy moments happen to be sprinkled throughout half of these tragedies. Actually, I just started embracing change. It's safe to say that growth is an uncomfortable process, and pain is a necessary investment for progress. I stress that if ever you get ill or hurt against your will, it's just a quiz from God. This is our test. Yes.
Yes. Listen, I can't claim that, although I wish I could. What a very, very, very anointed voice you heard in that clip right there, this young man. It was his destiny. I mean, rhythm and flow was just a stepping stone. It was a conduit. What's that right there?
What's my phone?
Oh, that's Heather's phone? Sorry. Oh my gosh, in the middle of the intro?
Okay, wait, good.
Okay, yeah.
Mine went off too.
Yours went off too?
It went off first.
All right, cool, man. Nobody's as serious as I am about this moment.
He started the trigger.
I guess I'm more committed. I'm more committed to this moment than you two are. I guess that's what it is.
My apologies.
You
just paid me a real high compliment, and now I'm getting reprimanded.
Okay, start over, Sway. So Sway wanted to steal your lyrics, but go ahead.
Okay.
That's what it started?
Yeah,
no, actually, man, the reason why we're so jovial today is because this young man is somebody we think is truly an asset to us. Not just as an artist, but as a motivator. To me, he's somewhat of a guru in a sense. And when you listen to his lyrics, you listen to his music, and he takes real life happenings and translate them through melody and song. His Inglewood High EP gave us a insight into who he is, and this Black Habits album that's out right now lets you know who his whole family are and the experiences that he had, from his dad to his mom to his siblings. Everything is in this project, and it's really well done. I want to welcome him back to the show to celebrate the new album, Black Habits. Give it up for the anointed one, D Smoke.
Thank you. Man, that's a high compliment, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, man. You started the album off with Morning Prayer.
Yeah.
And what was that clip from?
That I actually recreated. I produced that clip. So
okay.
I brought my nephew in. He's 8 now, but he was 7 at the time. I brought him in, and then he played all 3 young boys. So we literally just turned the mic on and had him repeat after me, and then we placed it in Pro Tools to create that scene. Like, I turned the mic up. This is like stuff I'm doing in my bedroom.
Okay. Even
the sirens, it was, we in Inglewood recording, so I just opened the window, and every 5 minutes or so, we got enough sirens going on to where I just turned the sensitivity of the mic up, and we getting real sirens, real ice cream truck. So once we handed it to the engineers, they cleaned it up a lot so that you could hear the quality of it. But I wanted it to sound like that's really off of a family video that
it sounded
a lot
like
of people thought that.
Yeah, it sounded like that. Was that a kind of indicative of what you guys, how you went to school? Did your mother?
Absolutely.
So you guys had to say prayers before you stepped out? Every time you stepped out the house?
Yeah, because it's a memory. My mom didn't have the luxury of knowing what we were doing at all times. I'm the last generation before of kids who didn't have cell phones. You know what I'm saying? So when you send your kids out into the world, you literally sending them with this set of instructions, this set of affirmations and a prayer, because after that you're trusting, she was trusting God with her sons, or whatnot. And
this is true.
A key part to it was, I remember those instructions. It's like, yeah, you heard the prayer, but the instructions was also if somebody mess with you, you make them wish they didn't,
Yeah.
We had permission to fight if under the right circumstances. And if we didn't fight, then we'd be in trouble, because it's we not going to have you out here being scared. That was, a non-option. So
you hear that reoccurring theme throughout this whole album of, we praying, we're righteous, we're trying to walk this clean and narrow path, but if you fuck with us, we about the business.
Period.
And even I think it's the Top of the Morning song where you in the chorus, you talk about his love in here, but don't get it fucked up. Don't get it twisted. If we have to, we about this business.
Period. and that's always been the case.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's something that's instilled. I think the misconception about people of faith or you know religious people is that it's like, oh no, something's happened, turn your back, pray, turn the other cheek, and it's really not that. It's like that's not the whole picture. It's like, okay, like I'm fighting for the right cause, so you really don't stand a chance. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to capture that duality of, you know, we are the same ones that's out in the streets that's representing something. You know what I'm saying? So. Yo,
D Smoke is here, man. Just even listening, I feel like I know you a lot better. I feel like we grew up in similar households. We said prayers too. Okay. We were, you know, you grew up in Inglewood.
I did.
We grew up in Oakland. So it was the same kind of thing, you know, and we all dealt with bullies, and that's one of the tracks. I find this really interesting, even the way you sequenced your songs, you know, from the prayer, and why was bullies the next thing that you put? Why did you put bullies first?
Because if we're following the sequence of my life, you know, we're starting off when Pops is locked up. The last line of the prayer, and that's intentionally so, was, and you know, God, please bring my Pops home from jail, my dad home from jail soon, you know. And then once we leave the house, you know, it's this, in the house is one thing, it's music, it's love, but outdoors it's a whole nother thing. So, and even in bullies, we talk about, it's not just we dealing with bullies, but we are the bullies. So it's this kind of, you know, there's this external force, but bullies is also like, you know, inviting people to accept that energy where when you want to go into go mode, or when you want to make something happen, you're not subject to your environment. You impose your will on your environment, you know. So I definitely, and I also wanted to draw attention to the fact that the bully energy or just being a bully is not something we as a people, as black people, you know, created. You know, that's not something that we started. You know, everything I talked about in the song, like everything they got, man, they took that. Now they're going through your book bag. You know, it's taught in history. It's no secret that's how we came to power as a country. So we just touch on a couple of things there, and then, you know, go into, I think, you know, one album that I love that did something similar to me is I think it was Aquemini that started off with Return of the Gangster. Yeah. Was it Aquemini? Return of the Gangster was that Aquemini? Look that up. Like, come on, man. You got AT Aliens. You got Aquemini. But it started off with Return of the Gangster. Right? So you got, and that, like, Outkast is a big influence of mine. The way they played the whole, like, we definitely speak it from the street perspective, but we also are thoughtful, spiritual, have a sense of responsibility in our music. So I think that, you know, when you grab people with that energy, then you take them on a journey, you know, they respect it a lot more versus, you know, it's not a pacified, watered down version of what hip hop is. It's intentional, even whether it's the aggressive stuff or it's the, you know what I'm saying, real thoughtful stuff. So I think people deserve both. Absolutely. We got more layers than even that. Period. To us, Absolutely. Right? Okay, Absolutely. So not just the ones that have been marketed to us. I see you, Mike Muse. I wanted to ask him about the song real quick, like my daddy. Yeah. Your daddy was locked up at what stage in your life? From the time I was about, like, right after I was born, like 1 till like till I was like 8. Okay. You know, like 7 and 8, you know, turning around in. And, you know, my dad and mom, you know, had their little spell with drugs. It was the 80s. It was cocaine everywhere. I mean, crack all in the black communities. And how bad did it get for them? Oh, it got bad. You know, and my mom's story on how she overcame it was kind of like the family really surrounded her, and when she realized, okay, I can't even trust myself at this moment, she would hand her checks over to her mom, like, because when you get money, that's that point in time where you weak, you know. Pookie. Exactly. So she stopped handling her money, and my mom, it's like 3 months into sobriety, she got a job as a minister of music. So even that was like a life-saving opportunity because it kept her, you know, it gave her that accountability. So those stories are all woven throughout the project. I talk about, you know, in Sunkissed Child, the one featuring Jill Scott and Guocho. I talk about, you know, she put that little rock in the opening, hoping that gesture would demonstrate commitment while they both will find it forever and then held. You know, that was the story of Pops introducing Mom to, you know, to crack you know, because their story was she didn't know that he had this problem. They get married, you know, she's already pregnant, and then he's out for days at a time, and she's like, you know, she in her early 20s, she like, I'm fine. What in the world is keeping my husband out of the house? And then so her desire to kind of keep the family together was like, okay, look, if this gonna drive you away, how about we do this? Which, as a young woman, early 20s, that was her thought process. That was her thought process. She was like, look, I want us to be together because I got a baby on the way, and you being out is not the answer. So, and of course, that wasn't the solution because it led to him getting locked up and him being out for years. So, all that's in there, but it's just jabbed in there. It's not like overwhelmingly like I'm gonna tell you it's bar for bar. You know?
You think it's jabbed? I be hearing those lines clear and simple. You know, your mom sang background for Tina Turner?
She did. Tina Turner, Michael Jackson, all kinds of gospel people, you know.
Was this post-crack?
This is, yes, recently post. So it's like when my mom was clean as early as me being like 3 years old. Okay. So from a baby to being like about 3 years old, she was on drugs. So as early as my earliest memories start, that's right when she was clean. I don't have any memories of my mom as an addict.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? That's fortunate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying? Because that would change my perspective. You know what I'm saying? I imagine so. And so, right after then, like, and as early as I can remember, she was also doing a lot of background gigs. So my grandmother was in the house. We lived with grandmother and my uncle. My uncle's only 6 years older than me, but he was like pops at the time. So, you know, you can imagine a 12-year-old with a 5, 6, and a 7-year-old. You know, we was just getting hazed because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. So it was like, but I think that all of that made us. You feel me? So, yeah.
That's the part of a lot of America that we don't get a chance. See, that's common to me. You know, like not common in a. It's important. It's special. Not in a mundane way, but I'm not surprised by these stories.
Yeah, because there's a lot of us.
There's a lot of us that live through these stories. We all got family members that had to deal with, especially in that 80s era, that crack era. What I'm so fascinated about is how we all somehow miraculously made it through.
Period.
And so look at this amazing young man on rhythm and flow and touching the world, and your brothers, sir, and it's good to see you guys on the track together, closer to God. So I just find this fascinating. So when we celebrate this Black History Year, you know, and then people don't understand why we are the way we are because they don't know these stories.
Right.
And then when they hear them, they say, oh, it's the same story. Yeah, motherfucker, because it's happening to all of us.
It was on a community level that all that shit hit, you know.
Yeah, it just didn't hit his family. It hit the entire family.
Yeah.
How old were you when your dad caught you masturbating?
Oh man.
He said this. It's in the song, like my daddy.
Hey, what's so funny? Shout out to Gentry. One of my teammates. It's like the whole song is about Pops.
Yeah.
And before we put out the project, we planned the project, and it's a long tribute to Dad, him being a coach, all this stuff. But then when he's talking about the song, he's like, yeah, I just finished a song about you masturbating. I'm like, bro, out of all the shit, all the positive shit I said, that's what you heard, right? Yeah. So, but I was probably 14 years old. Okay. 14, we had that's when they was like, okay, I want to give my sons the advantage of like of having computers. You know, we weren't rich by any means, you know what I'm saying? But my parents made sure that we had Mavis Beacon. We was trying to, be technologically advanced. You know, they put us in private school. And of course, as a curious teenager, you typing in shit and you like, boobs, or some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of them moments, and then Pops come in and you like, oh shit, Dad, and he laughed, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just, a lot of people are like, damn, you put that in the song, and it's like, motherfucker, you wouldn't. But the truth is, like, that's kid shit. It's that transitional period. Middle schoolers are the weirdest little motherfuckers in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
But yeah.
But what I thought was interesting, because a lot of us didn't have a father to give us that talk.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you went on to write that he pulled you aside and told you how to really communicate with women.
He gave me game.
He gave you game.
Yeah. And so did my older brother. I gotta, when I talk about where my game came from, Pops gave me some, but Pops is also like, Pops is like super religious preacher,
Uh-huh.
you know, so the in-between game is somewhere between Pops and my older brother, who is like, look, bro, you ain't gonna be out here being no simp, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, my older brother, Ron, he called me on a conversation at like 10. You know, we grew up listening to gospel music, R&B, Boys to Men, this and that, because we were musical. So he called me over here having a Boys to Men ass conversation, like, why haven't you called me? And he's like, nigga, if you don't hang up the motherfucking phone right now, nigga, you ain't gonna be no bitch, right? So we got that balance. Pops is like, show you how to treat a woman and all that stuff. But big bro Ron was like, man, you ain't gonna be no sucker out here, bro.
Yo, D Smoke here. Black Habits is the name of the project. It's out now.
D, were you always this forthright, this candid, or did that have to develop in sharing your stories with the details that you offer us?
Man, to keep it 100, it's so much in the project that I wrestle with whether or not to put it on there. Like all of the songs y'all referring to, I was like, man, I don't know if I should put that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I should put that because I've written for other artists. You know what I'm saying? We can go in there and be like, we gonna put a project full of singles out and bang this motherfucker out, right? But those songs happen when they happen. You know, those beats are dope. They could have any song over them. So the fact that when I sat down to write, that's what came out. I was like, this is what we got. And then when, you know, my team, you know, DJ Shanks is one of my teammates. He's like, bro, you got to give this to the world. You know what I'm saying? This is the work. You know what I'm saying? This is an extension of your legacy as a teacher. You know, and the classroom probably was my training grounds to really like being an open book.
Right.
Because you got kids coming in there with, you know, they come in there fully experienced, like having long stories, you know, so you can't just come in there and impose, you know, what it is you want them to learn on them. You got to be open, and then they're open to that exchange. So that's when that's where I felt like, you know, I kind of opened up, because otherwise you just another teacher and they trying to run over you. So.
D Smoke, Black Habits.
Yes.
Let's talk about our Black Habits. The last track is Black Habits 2.
Yes.
Very powerful track. There's another track I want to talk to you about too. Why did you title it Black Habits? What does that mean?
Black Habits, it's a celebration of blackness, and habits can be good or bad. You know, all of us have them on both sides. You know, what do you do when you first wake up? Like, what drives you? And so it's a journey through the habits that shape my life, from parents, drug addiction, to prayer being a habit, to, you know, how my journey with, you know, different women in my life and things like that. So the way the name came about was I was actually chilling with my nephew on a road trip. And so I had already had about 60% of the project done, and it had taken on a different kind of energy than I initially intended. So I was like, okay, we got to repackage this, you know? And I was like, it's warm, it's dark in a beautiful way. I want it to be black something, you know what I'm saying? And my nephew just sat for a second, and he knows the music because he's, you know, that's my little protege. He's always around, and then he's like, what about Black Habits? And I'm like, this little nigga. Like,
pretty good.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
You know? I like that, you know, so that's where the name came from. And then
You got 1 and 2 on the project, though.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
And 2 came first. So
You wrote 2 first.
I did.
Okay.
I at the time I was working at a school called High School for Recording Arts. So in my workspace, we could be creative. Like, okay, here I'm gonna demonstrate how we gonna use Logic today. And I made that beat at my job on Logic, and you know, a lot of the students were there. I actually had a student go in the booth and play the rim shot on the snare. You know what I'm saying? And so
That's dope.
yeah, incorporated some live elements, played the instruments in there, and then wrote it, you know, over that. You know, so Black Habits came first, then Black Habits 2, that came afterwards, and that was like one of those tail end songs on the project. I was in the Snoop studio, and I was like, all right, you know, we're actually there to mix and master the project, but I was like, man, we got this studio for 2 days. I want to do something new, you know, so we went in and you know, in like 8 hours, we did the whole song. Mom called Mom up. She came through, did the background vocals on there. And I was actually about to have her stack parts behind me. But then when we played it back, you know, I was like, dang, hold on, mute my vocal. And then hers just stood alone as the vocal for the hook. So I was like, all right, well, I guess it's a feature then, you know.
There it is. You got to make sure you pay your mama.
Oh yeah, we
Paid it, took care
we
of
got her on
business.
the split sheets.
Y'all got paper. Okay, make sure you get the paperwork done. I feel like
Absolutely.
was the day you and I we bumped into each other at a location in the meatpacking district. I won't name the location.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you insist. We were at the Soho House. Oh no, stop, man! I'm not stunting.
You know, only select few could be up in there, like, you know.
And I felt like that was a day you was telling me about. You was talking to me about Snoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the same day you're mentioning now, though, right? When y'all was
That wasn't. It might have been. It might have been that we just we had just left his because I was in New York. And a couple days prior we were in Snoop's studio. Yep. And then because we went in twice. The first time that came out. Yeah. And then the second time I went in to record his part on Gasparianga, which is a song with him on the hook and me on the two verses, and so. But yeah, after that's the one I was excited about, and that's Black Habits 1.
What I like about D Smoke is he'll hit me, come to the studio. It'll be a time I can't actually make it, but I don't want to discourage this dude to keep hitting me, and I can't making it. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't discourage you, man.
Nah, not
and
at
one
all.
day I'm gonna pull up. You know what I mean? What you know about the Willie Lynch letter?
Man, the Willie Lynch letter. It was basically an instruction manual on how to psychologically manipulate slaves to continue their own oppression, right? If you instigate certain beefs between them, then you won't even have to oversee their oppression. It will be a self-perpetuating thing. So it's like put them at odds with each other, on every term you can. Age, put the old against the young, put the light against the dark, the men against the women, And so I think it's important that we know that was intentional, because now that we recognize the remnants of that still going on and it being woven into our culture, then it's something we can start to reverse, you know what I'm saying? So
we're far away from that reversal.
Oh yeah.
But these kind of conversations and this kind of song you got on the album, even before I knew what probably motivated it. First thing I thought, I grew up studying those things, was the Willie Lynch letter. So let's do a lyrical breakdown.
I don't get it.
What exactly don't you get?
Breaking down the lyrics you may not understand.
What the hell did you just say?
It's the Lyrical Breakdown
I can break it down like whatever you want.
on Sway in the Morning.
Liking this D Smoke, Mike Muse?
Oh, I love it.
Okay. He got a song called Free.
Yes. Oh.
You see what I'm doing with it, right? He got a song called Free that's so ill to me. Shit is so ill. I know y'all gonna listen to it and go, what is Sway talking about? Listen to it over and over. I'm gonna go through the first verse and I want to just find the motivation. What if I used to be a president in a past life with a match and a pipe and a top hat in the back of a ride,
Back of the ride.
and a chariot chasing Harriet through the night?
Yeah.
Break down those first two.
So what if I used to be a president in the past life with a match and a pipe and a top hat in the back of the right, a chariot chasing Harriet through the night? I barely get sleep. My karma owe me much drama. Men of sheep I sold 3 last summer. A black back ain't exact.
Stop. Hold on.
It's a raw.
Men or sheep I sold 3 last summer.
Yeah. So it's this power dynamic. It's a role reversal. One, you got a black man that's like, damn, that what would be the irony that in a past life, I was,
President.
president. And it's a couple things that happen like in passing. The presidents had slaves, you know what I'm saying? And sold slaves. Like that's our history. You know what I'm saying? So it's just some verses come different. That one was one of those that came line for line. And then when the verse was over, I was like, damn, that just happened. And then the other verses were more intentional, like, okay, now that I got this one, what other stories do I want to tell?
Okay.
But that one, I was like, I started off with the what if I used to be a president?
Yeah.
So
pick that up. Men or sheep I sold 3 last summer.
Men or sheep I sold 3 last summer. So it's the exchange of flesh that's like, and this power dynamic that's like, okay, I own you, ownership of another person, and I don't even look at you as human, in in our history, we had a 3/5 rule. You know, you're not even, and this is post-slavery.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
This is when we talk about voting. We're not a full, not even
it still
recognized as a
exists.
full. Yeah, you know, we're not recognized as a full man. So, men are sheep. I sold 3 last. It's just that kind of that dog mentality of like, man, I don't even look at you like that. You know, so
a black back ain't exact until it got stripes. Beat that boy till he collapsed. Tease that boy, make him fight his brother. Make him hate his mama, make him blame his father.
You follow the rules and they always gonna do what they do. You know, so that's the first. That's where we talking about what the Willie Lynch letter was.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is, when I'm writing that, I kind of hit it in rhyme patterns.
Yeah.
It flows in a way that's damn near enjoyable. Like, what if I used to be your president in the past life, when the man's in the pine, in the time, you know what I'm saying? So it's rhythmic intentionally so that people can nod to it without having to think until you've heard it back and be like, whoa, damn, you know. So I always try to make it enjoyable despite how heavy the content is, and that's just
it worked
how it
out.
has to be.
You went Spanish on them too, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Que huele carnal.
Yes, that part of you separates you from a lot of different people, man. The fact that you are you trilingual?
Bilingual. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you knew
I'll pick
3.
up another one.
Yeah, come on. Oh, okay.
Japanese is next.
Ichiban, I got you there.
Ichiban. I don't know what that means, but
Look it up, dog. This is what I want to do. I want to play free. Okay. We got another guest that's here. Alfonso Ribeiro is here. Is he outside? Yes. He is? Well, let's let him in. We're going to play free. Now, I know you brought bars, right?
Yeah, I came with some things.
Okay, we're going to come back with D-Smoke, 888-742-3345.
Dope.
Sway in the morning, Shade 45,
Yeah,
D-Smoke, baby. You heard that. That one is called Free. That one is crazy, man. This album's so crazy, man. I had to bring in an icon.
Yes.
Absolutely a pop culture icon.
Who that?
A quadruple threat.
Quadruple?
The quadruple threat. He sings, dances, he acts, he produces, he cooks, he directs.
I play professional golf.
Yes.
I was a professional race car driver.
He's done that too.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Y'all don't know. I got mad skills behind the wheel.
Yeah, no doubt. You can check him every Sunday on ABC, hosting America's Funniest Videos. Come on, is it the 30th season?
30th season, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
Not the fifth. Alfonso Ribeiro is here, ladies.
Thank you. Yep. Always great to be back with you, Sway.
Come on, man.
Come on, baby.
I got something for you because I love making these moments and bringing folks together. And you are awesome. You're one of the top-notch elite entertainers that I've known over the decades. And this guy is an up-and-coming one who's been doing it for a he's been putting in his work, but the world is starting to find out.
Well, we always say that, right? Like people, it's like the overnight sensation. Yeah. There's no such thing.
Exactly.
Okay? You've been doing this since you were born.
Period.
Right? You've been learning this craft from the day you became into existence, right? And so you don't just all of a sudden become famous.
Yeah.
Right? Like that moment happens. But there's a lot of work that went in to get to that spot.
He laid down foundation.
Absolutely.
Laid the foundation.
True.
So with that said, man, this man knows talent. Alfonso knows talent. He is talent.
For sure.
Very manifestation of talent. He's walking talent.
For sure.
With a Hugo Boss suit on. Look at him, man. Talented suit.
But you knew. You knew where it came from.
Those who know.
See, I got one that's similar that I had made by my suit maker.
Okay.
And so I actually thought that I was wearing the one that I had made, and I looked down and I was like, oh, that's the boss one.
That is the boss one. Yeah. I wore that one 2 years ago.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
You know you bought that on Thursday.
So, Alfonso, you know you're a hip hop head. You know it's dope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have this kid demonstrate something to you. You know, he won what's that show, Rhythm and Flow. You know, put out a few projects. The world loves him. You know, but this morning he woke up and knew that he had to walk into the Valley of the Hyena.
Let's go.
Let's go. Wanted to drop a beat on him. Sway in the morning, Shade 45. You gotta have bars.
Hey. Got some West Coast for y'all. Yeah. Shout out to DJ Battle Cat, the legend on the West Coast.
Battle Cat, what up, family? Salute.
Super. Good. Listen.
Yeah. Here we go again with it. Every time he open up his mouth, he cause an incident. Without no plausible deniability, I am willingly giving energy to make this shit more interesting. Most of the rap game weak to me. I've been searching for something worth it that can speak to me. I'm from the West and I'm claiming everything east of me. And never folding under pressure, see no crease in me. Guess that's the beast in me. Listen, I'm from a land where they never turn down fair ones. And never run even when they staring down Behringers. With my foot on their larynx, still I ain't caring much. Fuck all these characters, my bros got character. See the untrustworthy say trust no one. But I say real, recognize real. With a gun tucked, dirty chucks and a cold one. If I bust, trust that bullet won't heal. 22 shots pop, bike it in for the pain, don't squeal, fuck that. Betty boop, head big, let's get to the roof on tilt. Jump off, never use parachute, pray to Zeus that the ground won't kill. Lunchbox, eat a beat, no receipt, no defeat, no pain, no chill. No pain, no chill. No pain, no chill. No pain, no gain. No gang, no meals. My team is the reason that every cocaine drug deal that we make in the form of music got no dang on ceilings. My team is the reason that every cocaine drug deal that we make in the form of music got no dang on ceilings. We building. Y no voy a parar hasta que mi mama got millions. And own buildings, collecting rent from the tenants in the pavilion. I'm a symbol like Zildjian. Only my musician friends gonna get that one though. Listen, similar to Wimbledon women dribbling tennis balls with rackets. I'm getting ready to serve. Built to attack any dreamer that's scheming and plotting against the forgotten activist. Putting steady work in. You must be an odd masochist if you choose to battle me. And to their ego, I predict an early casualty. Wherever we go, Dave and I saving a life one day at a time. With haters in line saying a lot. Pay them no mind. Just keep feeding these hungry heathens that's craving a rhyme. Until the disbelievers shut them up. Make them a mime. Cause I'm chosen to be great and I accept the calling. And I vow to stand even when all the rest are falling. And as proud as a man that shouts over lands, declaring that he's bound to enhance the ground where he stands. I swear, this is just the beginning of my winnings. Taking over dimensions with a vengeance. Baking soda and vinegar erupt similar to crowds witnessing inexplicable lynchings. Listen, we got a little more. We're not gonna stop there.
A little more. Yeah, yo, twist the beat up. Switch it up.
Hey, that's that West Coast shit too.
You like that
One
one?
more.
One more beat.
Yeah, one more. Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we gonna go like this. Listen,
D Smoke.
We gonna switch it up.
Sway in the morning.
Saludos al vacío. Dale, pues dale. Duro este puro producto toca la calle. Contento en victoria, orgullo cuando falle. Y los sordos me oyen, respetan todos los detalles. Somos incómodos en la compañía, cobardes siguen lo que está de modo. But they ain't seeing la llave, la mente bien en el aire. Escuchando al cielo, esperando palabras para cambiar el terreno. Pachangueando diario, energía perfecto con la familia. Así evito ese veneno, tírame el dinero. Prefiero centenas, forget to rep my city, you niggas silly, how can I? This Inglewood nigga on the home team. If you ain't with the movement, you on the wrong team. You ignited the fire, I was the pilot. Been grinding for plenty time, get excited now when the phone ring. En la costa este, mosta gente. Afro-latinos volando en most ambientes. Ya es la hora, muevo desde atrás a frente. Do it altamente. Super good. We going in like that.
D-Smoke, go! What?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you had me twisted up in here for a minute. You had me twisted up here. When you dropped it in Spanish, I was like, all right, hold on now.
Had to switch it up a little bit.
How you just go ahead and just drop it in Spanish on us?
Wow.
Like that's just cruel.
You looking at a true MC.
Hey, respect.
Sway in the morning, say 45.
Respect.
You look up the terminology true MC in the dictionary or the encyclopedia. You're gonna see a picture of D Smoke.
Hey,
Body.
Inglewood City.
2020, man.
That was hot, man.
We keeping the bar that elevated right
That
now.
was nice.
This kid is different. This kid is unique. D Smoke, get the album Black Habits.
Yes.
Woo, shit, I don't even know how to react to that one.
Yo, we all silent. We silent on it.
Respect.
We silent because there's nothing to say. You just let hold on for a second. Let's let it sit for a second. It's set. There it is. Just saying.
Yo,
A
hey,
positive moment of silence.
hey, I appreciate you, family.
That's crazy.
Yo, that was incredible, man.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Every time,
Thank
okay?
you. Yes, sir.
Every time.
All the
true
time.
hyena.
All the time.
Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
We gonna come back.
Dude, a pleasure, man.
Hey, man, you don't age, bro.
Yo, black don't crack.
You don't age, bro. I'm like,
It looks
nigga,
good,
just
man.
like,
You know?
because some people, you watch their old movie, then you see, you be like, oh, shit.
Some time has passed.
Hey, okay, they're not the same.
Yeah, with me, it still stay
I
the
see
same.
you,
You know what I mean?
you,
That's
man.
that Trinidadian roots right there.
There it
you
is.
go.
You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
go.
Put it from the islands.
We coming back from Alfonso Ribeiro after this. Sway in the morning, Shade 45. This Black Habits too?
This Black Habits too. I
There
like
it
this
is.
one.
There
I
it
produced
is.
this.
D Smoke, ladies and gentlemen.
Fire.
You want to talk with Alfonso? 888-742-3345.